Hi guys, welcome in. My name's Julie and you've just tuned into Lighthouse Intuitive Tarot, and today is April the 8th. Now, when I was tapping into energies and meditation earlier today, I was feeling this sort of sense of so this day started out really strangely here, and I don't know where you are in the world, but in my part of the world, we are getting a sort of a freak snowstorm. And it was funny because it started with the schools canceling early this morning for the kids. And then it went into all these emergencies were happening. I was hearing all these sirens, and I live in a pretty quiet neighborhood. So it was unusual to have all these sort of sirens so early in the morning. And then on top of it, there's been this ship down in the harbor that's setting off one of its big foghorn alarm, very regularly on this sort of regular cadence. And it's kind of I've noticed myself having this almost impatient energy, like a plumber shut up that way off the time that he was supposed to. So everything's kind of chaotic, a little bit scattered, a little bit unpredictable. It's very Uranus energy, which I don't actually know where Uranus is at the moment. I would have to look that up, but it's very interesting that everything's kind of been thrown off of what it would sort of normally look like. And yet I've found myself saying over and over, okay, come back to center, just ground yourself and, keep your vibration high, because it's all those little kinds of things that can really get under your skin, right? And those are the things that can really set the tone inside of our minds for where the day's energy is going to take us. And I've really actively been sort of saying no, vibe high anyway. The snow is beautiful. It's lovely outside. And, you're fortunate to have the time to be able to kind of just chill and, be in the space and not have to rush off and get to anywhere. So, all of that is a blessing, and stay forward, stay positive, stay up kind of thing. So I don't know if y'all are feeling that too. If you are, put it in the comments below. We'll see what the energies have to say, what the oracle gives us. This is an astrology oracle, actually. Star codes Astro. So, there we are. Moon, perception. So I know we've got a full moon in Libra coming up very soon. Actually, on the 12th of April, we're going to have a full moon in Libra. And typically, so this moon says perception. So again, even in reference to what I was saying earlier, the way that we look at anything and everything is how it will actually be, right? Really, when we get to the nitty-gritty of it. So deciding in our own minds that, it's not going to bother me. I'm just going to roll, I'm going to let it be. I'm going to let the surprises come in and embrace them with a feeling of, yeah, I want that surprise. Yeah, I want that thing to shake up a little bit. Yeah, I'm good with that, because really I can roll with that. So perception is everything. And the moon tends to represent things that are hidden to us, things that we have not yet seen, things that are a bit more mystical, a bit more magical. So I think that what Spirit's inviting us to sort of explore today and in this kind of energy is to embrace, what we don't know and what isn't seen to us, maybe to get still, maybe to feel like we can sort of connect in and possibly go into a meditation if you've got the time to do that. Close your eyes, ground yourself, and consciously come to that place of decision where we say, you know what, I'm not going to be bothered by all of these unpredictable sideshows because I have the power, right? I have the power to stay centered and grounded within myself. Even though I didn't foresee all of these things, they don't have to equal bad. And even if it is something that you would actually classify as bad, you can still choose. We can all still choose to say, you know what, I'm not gonna stay identified with that feeling. I'm gonna just say, so be it, such is life, not gonna get me down, moving on, So let's see what else we've got here. Also a 1, it's card number 19, and a 1 and a 9 reduces down to a 10, which is a 1, actually. So that's the energy of kind of new beginnings, of starting fresh, of embracing and manifesting. That would be the Magician in the Tarot, which is all about deciding to shape your world the way that it appeals to you, the way that you wish to see it, the way that you wish to perceive it. So in order for us to see it on the outside, we have to feel it first from the inside. And that happens within ourselves, right? It happens within our minds. So a leg up. This is Oracle and card number 34, which is a 7. And the leg up is basically looking for, looking for a hand, like understanding that sometimes things don't happen to us, they happen for us, even though we might not see that in the moment. It might not be visible and noticeable to us in that moment. It doesn't mean that it isn't happening for our greatest good. So again, it's about perception, trusting that what is happening in our lives and what the universe is kind of throwing at us is always something that we can handle. It's always something that is for our highest and best selves. I know it's really hard to see it that way when it can be something pretty major. And I'm not making light of things that can be, like, I'm not trying to trigger with anything, that feels really, really huge and that really genuinely is, a catastrophically sort of bad circumstance in the exact moment. In the big picture, if the perception can be shifted to stay in a higher place of gratitude and awareness, and in those higher emotions of love and joy, in whatever way you can get yourself there, it really does help keep things balanced and keep things, unfolding for the best, for our highest good. This is a 3 of Wands. So 3 of Wands speaks to our inspired desires starting to appear on the horizon. So you can see in this image, like, he's looking out at this really beautiful scene, and the water itself is kind of illuminated and starry, and the light's just catching on it exactly right. And I'm really drawn to how sparkly and magical and mystical it kind of is. And he's at peace. He's got those mystical sort of lights all around him as well, where he's seated. And it's kind of like that inside environment is reflected in the outside world. And that's what the 3 of Wands really is all about. It's about setting yourself up and being inspired and taking the right actions, having the plan, and then starting to see your results on the horizon and knowing that they're in sight and feeling that completely. So knowing that it's both internal knowing and actually seeing the material showing up for us on the outside. So I feel like whatever it is that we're manifesting in our lives, it's on its way. Spirit is giving it's coming in. So keep the faith, keep the trust. And here we are, reinforced. Okay, so we've got the Fool, the 2 of Cups, the 8 of Pentacles, and the 7 of Pentacles. Beautiful. Okay, so the Fool is the new leap of faith. It's the Fool's journey. It's basically starting out at the very beginning. So it's embracing the new and embracing that which is unknown to us, which was seen in this Moon card, knowing that all of the way that it unfolds is really, we determine that. Even when things are, sort of perceived as a success or a failure, it's our decision whether that is a success or is a failure, because we can always find successes and failures within the successes and failures, right? Within the bigger picture. So 2 of Cups is about forming that relationship. It can actually be love relationship. It can be joining with someone in a bond of love. It can actually also be joining yourself. So finding a united pathway within yourself where you unite the two sides, the shadow and the light, both of those forces within yourself that we all have feel integrated, and again, that's a decision to integrate those things actively through either meditation, grounding, and having faith that your ships are coming in. 8 of Pentacles and 7 of Pentacles are practical real world cards. They're material. Pentacles are always the material world and things manifest. So with the 8 of Pentacles, it's like all of your hard work has led to many seeds planted, and these seeds, it's time now to kind of decide on whether or not all that you've planted is in fact what you're wanting, that it is worth this amount of energy, because this is a lot of energy invested, right? Remember, this is manifest energy represented in this card. So is it still worth the amount of effort that has been expended here for what you're actually seeing in your life? And that's where Spirit is kind of asking you that question. So let's get some clarification on, okay, so for the Three of Wands, these two came out together. We've got the Seven of Swords and the Ten of Swords. Wow, yeah. So this is after some serious doubts were laid. Seven of Swords is a card of sneaking and sometimes strategy for scheming. And then the Ten of Swords, of course, is feeling like the end of the cycle. You have gone through it all. You've gone through the anxieties, the emotional turmoil, and all of the negatives that have gone through your head, you know, all of the thoughts that have, you know, sort of come to pass where you've been basically just stabbed in the back and taken down. And maybe that happened in a very negative way, or you had to overcome some serious obstacles. But your Three of Wands is showing up now, and there is nothing negative in this card. This card has got all of the magic, all the good juju on it. So trust in that. Keep your faith there. Maybe this experience actually led to you embarking on the new Fool's journey. Yeah, what is the Fool? The Page of Wands. Yes, exactly. Inspired new action, you know, so setting out with a new intention towards a new idea that is more inspiring. And what is the Two of Cups? What is the Two of Cups energy? The Two of Cups is after Three of Swords. Okay, so yeah, again, speaking to, there was some serious heartbreak here. There was a serious letdown on some kind of an endeavor. And maybe that was hidden to you with this Moon card in our early oracle. Maybe this took a while for it to be revealed to you, but it has been revealed. And now you are mending, whether that's mending within yourself, or you've met someone new who is very positive to your well-being, and that person is helping you to gain the proper perspective and grow past whatever this disappointment was. You've got a new inspired action. You've got taking that leap of faith. What do we have here on the Eight of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles? We've got the Empress and the Nine of Wands. Okay, interesting combo there. So the Empress is basically, she's got the energy of all the queens wrapped into one, and she is the omnipotent energy of reception and allowing. So she just attracts. She's the ultimate manifested. She births all creation into being, and she's quite literally pregnant in this photo. And she has the wisdom. She's got that light in her hand. She's a very balanced energy of attraction. So it's saying that in this new endeavor, try not to focus on this energy of a wounded warrior, the person who's carried so many burdens and so many to-do lists and responsibilities. I mean, we all have that in our lives, and that's, I know it's not realistic to say, I'm not in any way suggesting abandon any of that, but just, again, leading it back to perspective. Know what really needs to take your energy and what is draining your energy, and define for yourself the difference there. So instead of being in a constantly sort of chase mode, Spirit's advising to take on some of this energy of Empress, because it's there for the taking. The receiving and receptive energy is there for any of us whenever we want it. And it's very present in this reading right now. So I guess, engage yourself into that and acknowledge it and allow the universe to bring in your Three of Wands, you know, allow the universe to continue bringing this magic to you, because you've worked hard, you know, and you've put a lot of eggs into the basket, you know, so to speak. So don't overburden and don't fret, and definitely don't stay in the hurt energies that have occurred in the past. Whatever happened in the past is in the past. It is not indicative of what is now going to happen with this new endeavor and with this new inspired action, with these new energies, okay? So Two of Swords, yeah. So again, it's just reinforcing, you know, you've made the decision, you're moving forward, continue to do so with faith. You know, take off that blindfold and decide that you are committed and you're not going to wallow here in these energies, because these are indecisive energies. And they're the only decision that needs to be made is I'm going to continue to attract towards me all of the best things. I'm not going to place my energy on the things that have hurt, the things that have failed, the things that I don't feel proud and happy about. I'm going to place all of my attention now onto the things that will help me to grow, will help me to stay in a very high vibrational energy. So feelings of love and feelings of joy, feelings of gratitude for lessons learned, feelings of empowerment, feelings of you know, just freedom or loving life. You know, the little things even can make a big difference in how we perceive when we really choose to focus in on them and realize the depth of our fortune. So again, attention and energy will go to where our attention is placed. So stay in Empress energy, and your ships are coming in. There's magic in the air. There's definitely healing that has taken place, and either potential for somebody new in your life to bring love in, if you're open to that. And if that isn't about an actual partnership, it could be about a business partnership. It could be about a new friendship. You know, it could be about somebody teaching you something new. It could be about you learning something new because you've decided to, you know, either follow a new course or read a new book, or you've, you know, gone into meditation and you've had an epiphany or an insight that's been really, really valuable to you. And you've been able to integrate self, you know, and mind into this place of greater awareness and greater depth. So focus on those things. That's where you're going to have your success. And that's where things, life, and all wonderful things are going to continue to kind of pour in. You'll attract it because the Empress energy is here, and that's what we want. All right. So much love and light, many blessings, and trust that when this reading finds you, you know, there's probably something within it, even if it's not the date, that maybe you could grab from it. And I hope it served. If not, just leave it for somebody else, and we'll see you again on the next one. Okay? Thank you. Love and light.